Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. What does counting coup mean in Yellowstone? Explained in detail? Available on Paramount Network, Yellowstone is a neo-Western drama series. The series focuses on the lives of cowboys and the dangers of working on a ranch. Yellowstone revolves around the Dutton family's Yellowstone Dutton Ranch and their neighbors, with whom they often get into conflicts. The neighbors are the Broken Rock Indian Reservation, the land developers, a cattle ranch, and the Yellowstone National Park. The cast of the series includes Kevin Costner, Luke Grimes, Cole Hauser, Kelly Riley, Kelsey Isbell, and Gil Birmingham. The 5-season-long series is currently airing episodes from the second part of its final season. The series currently has multiple spin-offs. Spin-offs of the series that have been released are The Machen, 1883, and 1923. The latest episode of Season 5 saw Case perform counting coup. For those wondering what counting coup means, it is an indigenous custom used to humiliate your rivals instead of killing them. What does counting coup mean in Yellowstone? In Season 5, Episode 12 of Yellowstone, titled Counting Coup, audiences see Case go to great lengths to get more information on John's killer. He does this so he can avenge John's death. An indigenous custom, counting coup is a method used by many tribes to humiliate their adversaries instead of fighting and killing them. The person performing counting coup touches their enemy with a coup stick and hits them repeatedly. Those who count a coup successfully are considered courageous. Counting coup is an important part of Season 5, Episode 12. Mo encourages Case to count the coup as he believes John's killer is beyond unworthy and does not deserve to be killed by Case. Despite the occasional conflicts between the indigenous population and the ranchers, Mo still respects John Dutton, which is why he wishes to get revenge for John's death. In the series, Case is a white man married to an indigenous woman and often struggles to make sense of his identity. Mo offering his help and guidance signals to Case that the former accepts the latter as an honorary member of his tribe. In the episode, Case finds out who killed his father from one of his black ops. Case tracks the killer down and travels to Texas overnight with Mo. He tails the killer and threatens him and his daughter at gunpoint. Case then begins counting the coup. He performs the native tradition as a ceremonial gesture to avenge his father's death without causing fatal harm. Mo, who also serves as the series' Native Affairs coordinator in real life, helps Case perform counting coup. While speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, Christina Voros, the director of the series' episodes, spoke about how Case avenging his father's death through counting coup sees both the soldier in him and the family protector in him clash. Voros stated. Voros also spoke about the significance of Mo helping Case. Voros further added, Yellowstone is available to watch on Paramount Network and CBS. For more stories on the latest shows, soaps, and films, stay tuned to Soap Central. The phrase counting coup carries deep historical and cultural significance, particularly within Native American traditions. In Yellowstone, the hit television series created by Taylor Sheridan, this concept is invoked to convey themes of honor, power, and resilience. To fully grasp what counting coup means in the show, it is essential to explore its origins, its role in indigenous culture, and how it is applied within the narrative of Yellowstone. The origins of counting coup. The term counting coup originates from the traditions of Native American warrior societies, particularly among Plains tribes such as the Lakota, Cheyenne, and Crow. In these societies, warfare was not merely about conquest or destruction, but also about demonstrating bravery, skill, and honor. Counting coup referred to the act of touching an enemy in battle, often with a coup stick, hand, or weapon, without causing lethal harm. This act was considered the ultimate display of courage because it required the warrior to get close to the enemy without killing them. Warriors who successfully counted Coup earned great respect and prestige within their tribes. The act was more than just a physical maneuver, it was a psychological victory, a way of asserting dominance without resorting to unnecessary violence. Some warriors would even risk their lives multiple times to count more Coup, reinforcing their status as fearless and honorable. Counting Coup in Yellowstone. In Yellowstone, the theme of counting Coup surfaces in a variety of ways, often metaphorically rather than in a literal combat setting. The Dutton family, led by John Dutton, played by Kevin Costner, engages in constant battles, not just physical ones, but legal, economic, and psychological struggles to maintain control of their land. The presence of Native American characters, particularly Thomas Rainwater, played by Gil Birmingham, the leader of the Broken Rock Reservation, adds another layer of depth to this theme. Rainwater, representing modern indigenous resilience, frequently engages in his own form of counting Coup against the Duttons and corporate land developers. He does so not through direct warfare, but through strategic, legal, and economic maneuvers that assert his power and reclaim his people's rights. For example, his attempts to reclaim land that was historically taken from native tribes can be seen as a nonviolent yet aggressive form of Coup, challenging the dominant power, the Duttons, without direct bloodshed. Symbolic interpretations in the show. Psychological warfare. Counting Coup in Yellowstone often takes the form of mind games, intimidation tactics, and strategic moves that weaken the opposition without overt violence. For instance, Beth Dutton, Kelly Rayleigh, is a master at psychological warfare, using her wit and cunning to dismantle her enemies emotionally and financially. While she does not engage in physical combat, her ability to mentally outmaneuver her opponents aligns with the principles of counting Coup, asserting dominance without violence. In one of the more overt references to native traditions, Rainwater and his right-hand man, Moses brings plenty, use tactics reminiscent of counting Coup to assert their presence. When Mo captures an enemy, he often releases them unharmed but leaves a lasting impression. This mirrors the traditional practice of touching an enemy in battle without killing them. Land as a battlefield. In Yellowstone, the ultimate battlefield is the land itself. The Duttons view their ranch as sacred, much like how Native American tribes regard their ancestral lands. The battles over land ownership mirror the historic conflicts between indigenous peoples and settlers. When Rainwater challenges the Duttons' claim to the land, he is metaphorically counting Coup, asserting the sovereignty of his people through legal and economic means, rather than through physical confrontation. Real-life parallels and historical context. The concept of counting Coup is not just a relic of the past, but continues to be relevant in modern struggles for Native American rights. Today, indigenous activism often takes the form of nonviolent resistance, protests against pipelines, legal battles over land and water rights, and the fight for sovereignty and self-determination. These acts of defiance and resilience are modern iterations of counting Coup, challenging oppressive systems without resorting to violence. In Yellowstone, the portrayal of these struggles serves to educate audiences on the ongoing fight for indigenous rights. By weaving the theme of counting Coup into the show's narrative, Sheridan brings attention to the enduring spirit of Native resilience and the sophisticated strategies used to reclaim power in an often hostile world. The philosophical underpinnings. At its core, counting Coup is about honor, courage, and psychological dominance. It represents the idea that true power is not necessarily derived from brute force, but from intelligence, strategy, and fearlessness. This philosophy aligns with many of the power struggles in Yellowstone, where characters must constantly outthink and outmaneuver their adversaries to survive. Even John Dutton, despite his status as a white rancher, embodies certain aspects of this tradition. He often engages in nonviolent but impactful ways to assert his dominance, whether through legal battles, strategic alliances, or calculated threats. His approach mirrors the idea that sometimes the greatest victories are achieved not through destruction, but through demonstration of strength and resilience. Conclusion: Counting Coup in Yellowstone serves as a powerful metaphor for the ongoing battle over land, legacy, and identity. Whether through legal battles, psychological warfare, or strategic alliances, the show's characters engage in their own forms of coup, asserting dominance and resilience without always resorting to violence. By incorporating this historical and cultural concept into the series, Yellowstone not only adds depth to its storytelling, but also pays homage to the enduring traditions and struggles of Native American communities.